Good morning. Protagoras, day 13. Yes, I'm a little bit late, but I read something else for 2 hours. There's nothing like waking up and just reading. Frankly, Socrates, said he, I have fought many a contest of words, and if I had done as you bid me, that is, adopted the method chosen by my opponent, I should have proved no better than anyone else, nor would the name of Protagoras have been heard of in Greece. So the image of chess came to mind, and where whoever is white, kind of gets to choose the game, or not. I saw that he was dissatisfied with his own performance in the answers he had given, and would not of his own free will continue in the role of answerer. And it seemed to me that it was not my business to remain any longer in the discussions. Well, I said, my windows are open. It's double windows, so when they're closed it's pretty quiet. But when they're open it's not. So I hope it's not disturbing. It's really warm here. Well, I said, I have no wish myself to insist on continuing our conversation in a way that you don't approve. I will talk with you another time, when you are willing to converse, so that I can follow. You, for your part, as others say and you say for yourself, can carry on a discussion both in long and short speeches, for you are a gifted man. I, on the other hand, cannot manage these long speeches. I wish I could. It was for you, who can do both, to indulge me and so make our discussion possible. But since you would rather not, and I have something to do and could not stay while you spin out your long speeches, I will leave you. I really ought to be going, otherwise I should probably be glad to hear them. Well, I'm assuming Socrates is just bluffing here because there's still 22 pages left, which is a very, very long dialogue. Most of the dialogues aren't this long. Never mind. I forgot something. With these words I got up and to leave. As I did so, Callias caught my hand with his right hand, and with his left took hold of this old coat of mine and said, We shan't let you go, Socrates. Our talk won't be the same without you. Please stay with us. There is nothing that I would rather listen to than a conversation between you and Protagoras. You will be doing us a kindness. Okay, so Socrates is the local hero, and the renowned Protagoras is the visitor. And maybe Socrates is here, or maybe Plato is here. I don't know, it does feel like he's trying to get the upper hand over Protagoras by the way he's by bluffing and by demonstrating the fact that he is as deeply loved as Protagoras, and hence Protagoras kind of doesn't have a choice than to play along with his roles, his games. It kind of feels a little bit manipulative. I was already standing up to go and answered, Son of Hippocondas, I have always admired your enthusiasm for wisdom. Believe me, I praise and love you for it now, and would gladly do what you wish, if your request were within my power to fulfill. But it's as if you were to ask me to keep up with Chryson, the runner from Himera, when he was in his prime, or to run a race against some free-miler or marathon champion. I would say that to run with them would please me even more than it would please you, but I can't do it. We all know Socrates can do it. Unless he was really maybe not as intelligent as we think he was. Plato was, an Afrikaans word came to mind, moesje intelligent. I don't know. Socrates may have been wise without being intelligent. Although, like I said before, he does remember exactly what everybody says so that he can refute them, and he does quote poetry at length. So this insisting that he has no memory is bullshit. Not bullshit in technical sense, because maybe it's just being ironic. Because I don't think it's that he doesn't regard truth. That's not what I'm trying to say, and that's why I say not bullshit in the technical sense. I'm all over the place today. If you want to see me and Kristen running together, you must ask him to lower his standards. For I can't run fast, but he can run slowly. So if you want to hear Protagoras in me, ask him to go on answering me as he did at first, briefly and keeping to the point of my questions. How can we have a discussion otherwise? Okay, so it's like one paragraph, the long answer that Protagoras gave. And there's like some of the dialogues that Socrates speaks for, not many, but some of the dialogues Socrates speaks for like pages. So he's clearly not. How can we have a discussion otherwise? Personally, I thought that companionable talk was one thing and public speaking another. But don't you see, Socrates, he said, Protagoras is surely right in thinking that he is entitled to talk in the way that suits him, just as much as you are. Here Alcibiades broke in. No, no, Callias, he said. Socrates admits frankly that long speeches are beyond him, and that Protagoras has the better of him there. But in discussion and the intelligent give and take of arguments, I doubt if he would give any man best. If Protagoras in his turn admits that Socrates beats him in discussion, Socrates will be satisfied. But if he maintains his claim, let him continue the discussion with question and answer, not meeting every question with a long oration, eluding the arguments and refusing to meet them properly. Spinning it out until most of his hearers have forgotten what the question was about. Not that Socrates will be the one to forget it. Oh, there you go, Alcibiades. Socrates' lover. I'll guarantee that, beloved, Socrates' beloved. I'll guarantee that in spite of this little joke about being forgetful. Okay, there you go. See, I know Socrates as well as his lover knows him. I hold then that what Socrates proposes is the more reasonable, and I suppose it's right for each of us to say what he thinks. After Alcibiades, so far as I remember, it was Critias who, so far as I remember, cute Plato, cute insertion there. It was Critias who spoke. Because also that, right? Socrates complaining that he doesn't have a great memory, but this whole dialogue is Socrates telling someone else what took place. It was Critias who spoke, addressing his remarks to Prodicus and Hippias. Callias, he said, seems to me to be very much on the side of Protagoras, and Alcibiades is always out to win when he takes up a cause. But it is not for us to be partisans either of Socrates or of Protagoras. Let us implore them both alike not to break up the discussion in mid-career. I do get a sense of a coy lover, like someone playing hard to get, or there is seductive manipulation going on here, that's for sure. Hearing this, Prodicus began. You are quite right, Critias. Those who are present at discussions of this kind must divide their attention between the speakers impartially, but not equally. The two things are not the same. They must hear both alike, but not give equal weight to each. More should be given to the wiser, and less to the other. I add my plea, Protagoras and Socrates, that you should be reconciled. Let your conversation be a discussion, not a dispute. A discussion is carried on among friends with goodwill, but a dispute is between rivals and enemies. In this way, our meeting will be best conducted. So I just want to repeat myself in saying that if you're going to do dialectic into dialogos, this is probably the best dialogue of Plato to read in preparation. You, the speakers, who will be esteemed by us, esteemed, I say, not praised, for esteem is the genuine feeling in the hearts of the audience, whereas praise is often on the lips of men belying their true conviction. And we who listen will experience enjoyment rather than pleasure. This is a really good speech. Prodicus is a really, really good speaker. Enjoyment can result from learning and partaking in the intellectual activity of the mind alone. But pleasure arises rather from eating or other forms of physical indulgence. Enjoyment can result from learning and partaking in the intellectual activity of the mind alone. But pleasure arises rather from eating and other forms of physical indulgence. So I'm wondering now if you indulge in physical pleasures mindfully, could that be said to be enjoyment as well? So whenever we speak of joy, there's a moment that comes to mind. It's probably the moment, well, at least the most recent moment that stand out completely, of pure joy. And it was simply looking at someone and enjoying their existence. I'm not sure if that was a physical pleasure or a mental pleasure, or both. I think it was both. So, on that note, with this noisy and disorganized, because I'm not wearing what I need to wear, have a good day.